What's up, everyone? Welcome to another walk escape video, and in this one we're going to be tackling how to learn Tob. I recently learned Tob. I basically never died along the way. Alright, you got me. I died once or twice along the way. Nothing too bad, right? But the point of this video is to show you the times I've died, and hopefully by watching my pain and ideally laughing at it a little bit, you can learn something and suffer yourself a little bit less. I'm not a pro at TOB. I've got like 70 kill count. I'd recommend you watch a full guide that breaks down mechanics and the bosses first, then come back here and kind of learn what's what and what matters the most to just not die. I don't know all the mechanics, but I've figured out the important ones that it takes to get it clear, and that's what this video is kind of about showing. I don't like that there's this huge elitist attitude around TOB. I'm a max cheese caper. I can do it. I don't like people being toxic around it, so hopefully this video just gives you a little motivation to give it a shot. I find it to be really fun content once you get it down. It's fun to do with your friends. It's obviously good money, so yeah, just give it a shot. Hopefully you enjoy the video. This one took a while to make, so please let me know if you did enjoy it, and let's jump in. All right, getting into it, first thing you're going to have to worry about here is the Maiden. In my opinion, it's the easiest boss, but there's still a couple things to keep in mind. Priority number one, stay out of the blood pools. They're going to knock you out real quick. If you don't stay out of the blood pools, well, I've got plenty of examples of what happens. Number two, the Nylos come out at 70, 50, 30% health. Make sure you take care of those before they get to the boss. You need 2 freezers and 2 people on melee damage for the Nylos. And that's pretty much it. You get those 2 things down, you're going to be clearing this boss just fine. In my 70-ish KC, I've died here maybe 6 times, so it'll happen. But once you get it down, it's not too bad. And let's see what happens when you don't follow those rules. All right, got that down? Okay, good. So did I when I started. And here's one of my early attempts. Make sure you get out of those blood pools. Boom. Focus on the Nylos. Forgot about the blood pools. Dead. Idiot. Boom. On the wrong side of Maiden. Not thinking right. Should have been north or south. Dead. Boom. Tomato got me. Left a blood trail. You're gonna die. It's gonna happen. But then you'll start getting runs like this guy right here. Come in smooth. Go to the right side of the boss. You know what you're doing. Got it down. Drop your hammers. I found the best way to do it is just stay in motion. See, I moved for that blood. If I hadn't moved for that blood, I probably would have looked more like this attempt. I just constantly stay in motion. That's kind of how I figured out is the best way to dodge the blood. You never really know when it's going to come out. It's random, so I just kind of tap dance around it and let my buddies do the freezing because they're doing the hard work. If you do want to be the freezer, it's not that bad. I haven't learned it myself, but my buddy Javi out there, he's killing it right now. He started freezing like 5 KC, so let the freezers get the Nylos, pile them, take them out. Make sure you always watch out for that blood. Stay in motion. Basically, all there is the Maiden. I don't know why people gatekeep this. I mean, this boss is a joke. If they're all this easy, then come on. Yeah, don't worry though. They're not all this easy. You'll have some fun. Boom, another blood. Dodge it. Make sure you're also looking out for these tomato things. They're going to leave blood trails behind them, but your freezers can be on it. And that's pretty much literally all there is to Maiden. Crabs come out again at 50. We kill them. I'll speed up the clip a little bit. You probably don't need to watch this entire thing. You get the idea. Again, I'd recommend pairing this with like a legit guide because I'm a total shitter, but my goal here is to more just show you that you can get it done. That's what I found is all I really need to be concerned about with Maiden, and we're getting consistent clears. The only deaths that I've ever had here that I'm not showing are when we do an entire team wipe because someone forgets their rune pouch or something. That's going to happen a lot too. Very fun, but part of the game. Keep staying in motion, stay away from those blood, and it's easy sailing from here. Drop your specs at the end if you've got them, claws, chally, anything like that. And on to the next one. Second boss you gotta take down is the pestilent bloat, and this one is frankly not very fun. Describe the bloat in one word. Well, yeah, probably arousing, but another word to describe the actual boss encounter, annoying. It's just you got high potential to PK here. You gotta do the mechanics right, or else you're in big trouble. So, number one, get out of his line of sight. Keep moving around the room. Avoid the falling hands that keep coming from the ground. You get hit by either one of those and you're going to be in big trouble. If you get hit by the flies, there's a good chance you kill your team, so don't do that. And then last, don't stay too long when Bloat goes down and try and get an extra hit in. You can get 6 if you have like perfect timing and you're using a whip or something like that. I would say just go for 5 when you're first learning, unless you know you're perfectly timed. You don't want him to stand up and deal you like an 80, immediately wipe you. Your team's going to be more annoyed if that happens. All right, now jumping into the mistakes. There's a lot for Bloat. Here, got hit by the flies. A bunch of us did. Passed damage to each other. HP went to 0. Over here, I hugged the corner too much. I got hit by flies. Hurt my teammates. I was camping low HP. HP went to 0. Here, it's a combo of someone passing a fly to me, plus I got hit by a hand. You see Bloat's on the other side, so I didn't cause the flies that time. Here, another hand got me. Camping 12 HP. Just eat up. Don't die. 47, falling hand. It's going to take your HP to 0. This one, Bloat was almost dead. We broke rule number 3, tried to be heroes. I caught a 49, dead instantly. My buddy rusted there, 79, then the flies got him. Team wipe. Same thing here. Tried to be a hero, couldn't get away in time. If you're not going to make the last hit, just run. All right, despite all of those moments of great pain, you will get to a point where you can kill the Bloat without too much trouble. So first things first, get someone in to go set it. Me and my buddy were both a little overeager here, but the first phase is super easy. The hands aren't going to fall, so just stay away from Bloat. Hopefully he's going to go down in front of your teammates and you can all get a bunch of damage on him. Again, don't have to worry about this part too much. Make sure your salve's on. People will yell at you for that, like you're the dumbest person to ever live. And go ahead and drop your specs on this first phase as much as you can. Get over to the side where you're going to be able to close less distance before the flies come. And when Bloat's up, just try and stay perfectly across from him. Keep your prey range up. It helps with the flies. And try and avoid those hands. See, I almost got hit by one there. My buddy was a little eager, caught the flies and brought him back, but it's not a huge deal as long as you recover quick. None of the mistakes here are going to hit you for 90 HP. Like, I just got dropped a hand on me, hit me at 38. It can go up to maybe like 50. So if you're hurt, just eat up. Don't worry about using your food. No one's going to be able to see your inventory and make fun of you for eating your food. They're going to make fun of you if you go down and plank. So just don't do that. Or do your best not to. It'll happen. Don't worry. It still happens. Again, don't be a hero. It's usually going to be a 3 down, especially if you're newer. Some really good players can 2 down it, but that ain't us. He does turn like that, so make sure you're just on your toes. It's a really annoying boss, honestly, but it is satisfying when you get it done really well. Whenever he goes down for the last time, if you have any spec back, you can drop it in. Don't get ruined by the hand like I did right there. Went down to 5 HP, but he was coming down. I got away in time. It was a recovery, right? It doesn't matter if you make a mistake, just don't die. Then finish him off, and you've got a clean Bloat kill. The hands, by the way, cannot hit the same tile twice, so if you go under one that just got hit by a hand, you can camp there safely for a little while. That's a pro tip. And also, just to show you how quickly these things can devolve, this is a run that we were doing pretty smoothly. Bloat gets up, and then we immediately all get torched for your viewing enjoyment. Oh yeah, so clean. Getting away, no problem. Oh, flied, run into all my teammates, screw everyone over, ruin all their food. Don't be me. All right, now that you're done with the nightmare that is the Bloat room, you get to move on to Nylo's, which is probably the longest room and pretty annoying, but not too bad once you get it down. Just make sure everyone picks a crab. If you're in a 4-man, you should have 2 meleeers, and that you all patrol the room, try and rotate, make sure that the pillars have roughly equal health, and that you're prioritizing the crabs that are in the middle hitting you, because these guys don't look too dangerous, but they pack a punch and they can stack you out right quick, as we'll see with some of my screenshots here in a second. Very fun stuff. All right, let's check out some of my failures. Most of these are from very early on because there's an easy lesson to not die at Nylo's. Just eat up. See, here I got 618, not too high health, just eat up. Here, 18, 15. Nylo's comboed me out, shouldn't have been camping such low health. Double 18s, enough to take me down. You just got to learn to eat. Watch those pillars. If the pillar's about to come down, like it did right here, make sure you eat up even more because this was a nasty combo. 17, 15, 35. dead once again. Here, another pillar coming down, dead again. It's all about keeping your health up. When the pillars fall, they could deal you 30 plus damage. You get hit by a Nylo at the same time, you're donezo. Once you actually get to the boss, which is the end of the room, that's actually the easy part. I've almost never died here, but I did find one clip of me mistakenly hitting the boss with the wrong style here. So don't do that. You'll make it through the boss. Nylo's been one of the easiest rooms to learn not to die at. All right, I'm going to jump the clip to about the middle of the Nylo room because the beginning's really uneventful and easy. You're not going to fail there. This is when it starts to get a little more chaotic. A lot of Nylos coming in. Make sure you focus on those middle ones because they can hit hard. He just knocked me out for a 14. So pray up if you can tell what's hitting you in the middle, and then just rotate around. Try and get everything you can off the pillars. Try and keep your HP up because they can stack you out. I'd recommend about 50-ish where I'm sitting right now is probably the lowest you want to be. And if it looks like some of the pillars might come down, I'd eat up even more. But there's not really all that much to this room. You just run around popping the spiders, doing some pest control here. Easy money. And it never finishes up as quickly as you think it will. There's always going to be the same spawns, so if you want to be a major sweat and remember what everything spawns when and where, then that's going to repeat, so you can do that. I find that I don't want to spend my brain power doing that, so I just kind of patrol around. Again, make sure my health is up. Because this is the end of the wave here, I feel pretty comfortable that a pillar's not coming down. I'm all right with 30-ish HP. All right, now that you've successfully massacred all of her children, the mom's going to be pretty pissed off. I guess somewhat understandable. Change of styles always starts with melee, so go ahead and dump your specs on this first phase, pray melee, and then from there, just prioritize your overhead prayer, and then worry about dealing damage. If you miss a hit, it's not the biggest deal in the world. This thing's got really low defense. You're going to take it out quick enough. So if you're using a 4-tick weapon, you can get off 2 hits if you're quick. And if you get off 1 hit, don't worry about it. Also, the boss is automatically going to stop your attacks when it changes style, so don't worry about accidentally, say, still hitting it with your whip if it's range. Unless you actively click the boss, it's not going to be a problem, and that's honestly a huge help and is a big reason why this boss is super easy. Just take it down, don't lose your cool, make sure you keep your prayer up. I'd still stay around 30 to 40 HP because it can hit you through prayer some. If you do make a mistake, it could hit you for 30s plus. So, don't make a mistake. Easy enough. Don't make a mistake. Get the drop. So easy to beat this game. I don't know why people struggle so much. Here we go. About to finish it off. And that was simple enough. Get to move on to Sote Deaths. Sote Deaths is one that I've got kind of a love-hate relationship with. It's very tilting, but it's also very satisfying when you do it right. Number one thing to look out for is the balls he throws out. He's going to try and hit all of you in the face with his magic balls.
Phrasing?
Don't let him do that. We don't want that. Keep an eye on your teammates. That's the way I've found is the best way to predict it. They bounce between the teammates, so if you're watching somewhere else, you'll see if it spawns another ball headed for your way, and you can pray right. Also, I wouldn't really try to tick-eat the ball if you're newer. I've done it once or twice, but it's tough, and if you screw it up, you're dead instantly. So when that big ball comes out, just go ahead and DD. Now that I've shown you how easy it is to do it, let's look at me fail. All right, pretty much all of these deaths are from the ranged and magic ball attacks, so those will just chain you out quick. You can get hit by like 5 of them in a row, and you're just screwed if you miss one because they're going to disable your prayer. That's what happened with all of these that you're seeing on screen right now. I could have been 80 HP, and they could still get me. The other way I do die occasionally is from that giant ball of energy. If we haven't DD'd, then it can hit you. You see I take an 82 right there. They told me to tick-eat it. I didn't know how. Wasn't good for me. After you go down here, your first 10 or so attempts, you could be getting close to the territory where you'll survive it, like we do here. So let's take a look at the good kill. Everyone should spread around the boss so that you can see the magic and ranged attacks coming at you. I can't melee if nothing's coming after me, but you want to switch your prayers in time. See, I'm getting hit by 2 real quick right there. If I was unlucky and I prayed wrong, that could have been like 70 damage off the rip. There's not much to it other than that. Make sure you do your hammers at the start of every phase. when the maze comes up, be ready. But the big thing is to just always have magic and range prayers ready to go. He's going to phase you at 67 and 33% health. You'll go back through the maze. There's a lot of videos on the maze. I get chosen here so I can show you how to walk it. People will yell at you to go super fast, but honestly, there's a good amount of time. You can wait on this third square, wait for your team to get ready, and then just kind of run it. You do need to be a little quick, but if you're not moving one tick at a time, it's going to be fine. The tornado's not insanely fast. Just run where you're comfortable. Don't get your team killed, because if you go on the wrong tile, they're all going to hate you. Just like that, back in the fight. Same thing. Pray against the mage balls, the range balls. Pray melee when he's not throwing those out. You'll get through it fine. See there, I take a hit. Prayer goes down. 26. If there was more coming at me, I would have been in even more trouble. And then the big ball that we DD for, you try and tick eat that, you're probably dead. That's pretty much it here. I'll go ahead and speed up the recording. Not too much new to learn. Just do what I've been saying. Rusted Shaft over there in the corner, my buddy. He's not watching this video. He's not looking out for the balls. Look at this. Ooh, 34 wasn't praying. Can't get his prayer up. Range ball. He's going to get hit by another mage too. Back to Lumbridge. Sorry, dog. Better luck next time. All right, running the last maze. I throw out my Redemption here. If you do happen to misstep, Redemption can save you because it hits like between 10 and 15 rapidly, so it can give you a little boost. Hopefully don't misstep. When you come to the very end of the maze, make sure you catch the last tile, or else you can take damage. You've got to go exactly on the good tile, and then right back to it. Now, one more buddy who didn't see my video, Rick back there. He's trying to tick eat the ball. We know what happens. Yep, not worth it. Just DD, spread the damage, try and be a hero. You wind up dead. Thanks for raiding with me, guys. Don't judge this. Love you. So now me and Javi got to duo it out. We're the two newest learners, but it's all good. We can carry. Straightforward, don't panic, keep your prayer up, finish it out, and then get ready to go tackle Xarpus and Verzik. Congratulations, you have now made it to the last demi-boss before big boy Verzik, big spider girl Verzik, and that's Xarpus. Now, this guy's pretty straightforward in principle, but if you mess it up, it's really annoying because you know exactly what you should have done, and you kind of beat yourself up over it. So he's got 3 stages. First one's super easy. Just stand on the exhumed. Don't let him hit him. Divide the area with your friends the same way you did Soda's Egg, and you can each watch a sector. During phase 2, when he's throwing out the poison, keep moving. If you feel comfortable meleeing, stepping in and out, go ahead and try to do that, but don't rag all of your tiles for phase 3. If you mess up too many of them, just step back out, start ranging it, and then for P3, go in, melee slow, keep your concentration, don't get your damage reflected, you'll get through just fine. Here's some times that I got through just fine. Here I stood on the puddles too long. I didn't have my Redemption up. It couldn't save me. Here I did have my Redemption up, but I hit Xarpus. Couldn't save me. Too big of a hit. Same thing here. More poison here. Another reflection from Xarpus. Basically, every time I have my Redemption up, it doesn't help me. And every time it would, I don't have it up. I would just keep your Redemption up, honestly. Don't get hit by the poison like I do. And just keep your cool. You'll be fine in this room. Every time I've died in these clips, it's because I freaked out. After you've waited for an extra 25 minutes for your buddies to figure out what they want from the chest, you can start Xarpus. Just stand on those exhumed like I was saying. I'm going to make this clip go pretty quick as well because it's a straightforward boss and I don't like looking at Xarpus's ugly face any longer than I have to. Just patrol. Yell at each other for not getting the exhumed that are kind of on the borders between your two territories. Definitely roast each other as much as you can. It's good team building. And after a little while, he's going to stand up, start poisoning you. He's going to aim in the orb order. Drop your hammers. As long as you feel comfortable, walk in and out. You're probably going to rag tiles. I rag tiles all the time. That's just when you get poison on the inner circle. You want as many of those open for the last phase as possible. So if you screw up, 3 or so of those inner tiles, I would just switch to whatever range gear you have, walk around the outside perimeter, and then just keep DPSing him that way. If you've got thralls, this is probably my favorite place to use thralls because the damage does add up. But once he goes down to roughly 30, a little less percentage health, then he is going to screech, and you're just going to want to not attack him while he's looking at you. Not much more is going to happen until then. Keep up your redemption. As you saw in all of my screenshots, it clearly saves you every time. Never doesn't work. And here we get an excellent example of ragging tiles, as I was talking about. But there's enough that we can finish it out. It's not a huge deal. He's going to screech, go somewhere safely on the middle without walking over the poison, and then just hit him when he's looking away. You can get 2 hits in, so when he looks away, hit him twice, move to another tile, hit him again. If you only hit him once, that's fine. Just don't kill yourself, because that's how I always go down here. I think he's not looking at me, turns out he is, or I try and get 2 hits in, and he ruins me. This doesn't work like Nylo. It's not going to break your attack when he turns, so make sure that you click away. And do all of that, you'll get through no problem. All right, congratulations. You finally made it onto Verzik. And this one, there's so much going on. There's probably not much I can even talk through on this screen. It's going to be more helpful to look at the deaths and look at the gameplay. So all I'm going to say for now is there's 3 phases. Make sure you get to P3, all right? Eat up, make sure you get to P3. Just make sure you get to P3. And that's all you really need to do for your team. If everyone gets to P3, you're probably getting the clear. Just don't plank before that. I'll show you how I've planked before that and how I avoid it. It's really not too bad. People always harp on P2 being insanely hard. It's not that hard. It's just that if you wipe, you're going to cause trouble for your team. All right, on P1, it's super easy to not die. I've still managed to do it once. What can I say? I'm a wonder kid. Basically, just make sure you're praying mage and you're behind the pillars when she throws out the projectile. I didn't have my mage prayer up, and I got smacked for a 99 here. That was bad news. I think we ended up wiping the run. Everyone was mad at me. You don't want that to happen. Just make sure you don't go down. If you miss a hit with the staff, it's not the biggest deal. You have plenty of pillars, so don't worry about it. On to P2 deaths. Biggest thing here, big shocker, eat up, all right? Even if you take hits, they're not going to be for 90s in P2. Just keep your HP really high. The Nylos can hurt you pretty bad, so make sure you get away from them before they explode on you. And if you do get bounced, just worry about getting away. Don't think you need to hit Verzik constantly. You can get back into cycle, just eat up. See, I'm dead here because I was in my 40s. I'd recommend on P2, especially if you're newer, keep your HP like 80, 90 plus, and that's what's going to keep you from going down. All of these death clips, you'll see, I just had my HP too low. Now I've finally learned my lesson. I very, very rarely go down on P2. P3, maybe a slightly different story. Okay, all right, we get it. P3 is clearly a different story. But there's still some lessons, right? And you can still get it down. I kind of have it down now. Biggest things that get me here is getting hit by that giant projectile that comes out and domes you for like a 90. So make sure that after the yellow portals come up, you just eat way up, because that thing will smack you out. When the yellow things are up, make sure you get to them, and make sure that you're avoiding the tornadoes and healing Verzik once those come out, because that's always been a bane for me. Do those things. P3 is not going to be all that bad for you. Once you learn to run the webs and stay with your team, that makes it a lot easier as well. But again, it's just a matter of throwing yourself at this, learning it more, and dying a lot. I've still got plenty of these death animations lined up, and you get to watch me suffer. But you will also see in a second here what it's like once you succeed. Okay, now let's take a look at a successful Verzik, P1 through P3. You've seen all of the deaths. There's quite a few of them, but there's also some good clears in there. So let's check it out. P1, again, not bad. Make sure you have your mage pray up. That's what's going to get you. Make sure you're behind the pillar when you need to be, and that you're just paying attention to who has the staff and when. Usually it's going to go in orb order. Since I'm 4th, I'll pick it up right here, throw my specs at it, and then drop it back to my teammate. Just make sure you stay in cycle and it is straightforward enough. These pillars are pretty strong, and you have 6 of them. Don't let the Elitist freak you out and say you need to down it perfectly before the first pillar goes down. No, we're just here to get it clear, all right? Just don't die, and you'll be all good. We're actually smacking her pretty good here. Usually I'm done with Verzik by probably the end of the second pillar. If it's going well, it could be towards the beginning of the second pillar where we knock it out. Here we had a staff mishap, but it's okay. Again, focus on not dying. Even if you needed to leave the staff the whole time. See, my buddy Rusted took a big hit there. He could have just bailed on it, let the hit come out, and then gone back. We still would have had plenty of time. This is not a perfect Verzik achievement guide, right? This is just how do you get the KC. Make sure once the pillars come down, you get away, switch onto your range prayer, and now we have the fateful P2, where all of the elitists will say you're never going to be able to do Taub because you don't have a scythe or anything like that. Doesn't matter. See, I got bounced, I got hurt, I'm still alive. You just got to get into the cycle, not freak out, and when your health is low, do not be scared to eat up. I'm at 64. I'm still going to brew up probably all the way up over 100. See, 1952, if I hadn't eaten up there, I'd be dead. But I'm scared. I keep eating up. I keep my prayer up, and I get back in the fight. Don't worry about missing some hits. All right, it's not a big deal. Prayer goes down. You're not going to get hurt. The projectiles aren't hitting you. I'm honestly struggling in this one, and still, I end up getting the clear. So just don't worry about it too much. Make sure you keep your HP up. Sound like a broken record, but that's really all there is to it. Now that I've finally calmed down here, I can help my team a bit. This honestly is a pretty scuffed P2 as far as they go, even for me, but I'd say that's a good thing. You can tell that even though I'm getting hit by the cabbages here and there, I'm able to make it. I've been chanced once or twice even, but just keep your cool, stay in the fight. Once it gets down to about 40% health, you're going to get those red crab spawns. Make sure you switch to your mage prayer when that happens. It's going to start shooting the mage projectile a lot more and a lot less of the cabbages, so you want to switch it up. And just make sure you stay in cycle as best you can. If you're out of the cycle, just take a second to step away, get back into it. Stay in motion. If you're scared you're going to get hit, you could always go to the tile above or below. Now those red Nylos are out. Switch into mage. Hurt them as best you can. You don't have to kill them all the way down. Just do some good damage. Get in 3 hits. Get back to attacking Verzik. And P2 will be in the books before you know it, and you get to move on to everyone's favorite, P3. Even if you get to P3 and then you die there, it's not as big a deal. You're going to get the clear. The reason people hate when people die at P2 is because of these red guys. If you don't have enough DPS on them, it heals the boss more than you can hurt the boss, and you end up wiping the whole raid. So that should really be your number one goal, is to just get at least this far. If you're all new players, even if 2 of you finish out P3, you can still get it done. If 2 of you die in P2, it's not going to be very good. All right, for the sake of your sanity, I'm going to cut the clip straight to P3. It's really repetitive to just keep it on P2. And here's where the fun begins. So make sure you pray the correct style for Verzik. If it goes to you to tank and you're really uncomfortable with it, you can pass it by standing under the boss for a while and give it to another person on your team. If you want to try it out, it's not too bad to tank. Just hit the boss and then walk under it. Don't worry about getting multiple hits off. The biggest thing is you don't want to melee your teammates, and that's going to happen if the boss decides to hit while you're standing directly next to it. That can really screw over your whole team, cause a whole wipe. You don't want to do that. Now, if you got some awesome freezers like my buddies, you don't have to worry too much about the Nylos, but if no one freezes them, just make sure you walk away. After 10 hits, run webs if you know how to do this. If you don't, just get out and let your teammates who know what's going on take care of it, but it's really not too hard. You meet on this tile to the south of Verzik that we all did. Spam click the boss. As soon as you get an XP drop, just start running around in circles, and every 4 ticks, hit the boss again. When you're all in cycle, it's beautiful, and you do a ton of damage to the boss. Speeds up P3 a whole lot. Now, the next special that Verzik throws out is those yellow tiles. You want to each stand on one. You can't share one with someone else, so make sure you call it and kick anyone out if they try and DD on you. No squatters' rights here. I usually like to go far if I'm able to, make it a little easier on my teammates, but just everyone should get what they can and make sure you communicate. Now, 20% is when the chaos comes in. Tornadoes, priority here, don't heal the boss, as I just did right there. If the tornado hits you, it's not only going to damage you a lot, it's going to heal Verzik back up a lot, and you want to be able to finish this out as quick as you can. So if you do get hit, don't worry about it, just eat back up. Now I see the big balls coming. I've learned my lesson. Eat up big time. Ends up going to my buddy, who also eats up big time, smart guy, and we're all still alive, all able to DPS the boss and get a nice, clean clear. These have all been from the same theater, by the way. So this was a Deathless clear with the squad, and who knows, maybe we're going to get a purple. Probably not if history is anything to tell. Yeah, sorry for hyping you up. Of course it's not a purple. But I wonder who the MVP was. Hey, there you go, right? You learn it, you get the KCs, you're going to start even getting the MVPs. And even though that last one wasn't a purple, this raid we ran right after come in, and we actually get to see a perp. It's awesome. This is for my buddy Rusted, who has been seeking his Avernic for like 150 KC. Me, I got a little lucky, got it on 3 KC, you know. But that was pretty spooned. I've seen 2 purples now in my 70 chest, you know, averaging maybe 1 death or so for me individually for the raid. I think that's about fair. So decent rate. They've both been Avernics. And yeah, I think Top is really fun. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you're willing to kind of give it a shot and try it out now. Let me know if you liked it. This one took a long time to put together. And if you just like my other content and you want to see another countdown video, don't worry. I'm working on one of those coming up in the next couple of days. Let me know all the things I did wrong if you're a big elitist in the comments down below. And remember, just keep at it. Don't get down. Don't listen to the haters. And subscribe to Walk Escape.